Yes, indeed. Success strategist, award-winning businesswoman, and entrepreneur, CEO, Jennifer Yon Agency, and boutique public relations firm and founder, ladies and gentlemen, publisher of IBA, Success Magazine, and multi-level lifestyle marketing campaign. Jennifer has a strong reputation for turning passion into profits. This is true. It's not just writing. Turning passions into profits. Her focus is concentrating on enhancing the public presence to create growth opportunities while managing, growing, and guiding her clients' target audience. Y'all give it up for Jennifer Yon.
Excited to be here. Let me first say thank you, Dr. Rowe. Where are you in the room? Thank you so much. The relationships between some of the individuals in the room is the reason that I'm here. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk a little bit about some relationships, okay? But Dr. Listen, you brought fire, okay? You poured back into love, into me so greatly. I appreciate that. This is a relationship that is important that we continue to hold. And relationships, period, in your nonprofit is something that must be held down, okay? Your nonprofit is like your man or your woman. You gotta love it, okay? You got a relationship with it, okay? You gotta talk about it. You gotta stroke its ego. You gotta do all of that. It's a relationship. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about relationships within your nonprofit as it relates to PR, okay? Who knows what PR is? Anybody know what PR is? Oh, great. So I'm going to tell you what I believe PR is. I believe PR is great communication. And with that communication, what do you do with it? How do you put it out? That's what PR is. So if you're thinking about your communication, if you're thinking about what you are telling individuals about your nonprofit, you got to love it first, and then you got to know how to communicate it to others, okay? Communication can be done a lot of ways. One thing that Dr. O said that I love, like what we have now, we didn't have years and years ago, okay? We didn't have this digital platform. We didn't have LinkedIn. Do y'all know how many relationships can be built with LinkedIn? Oh my goodness. I'm in a relationship with everybody on LinkedIn. Okay? I get around on LinkedIn. Okay? I jump in their inbox. Hey, how you doing? I love me. I need you to love me. Because what I do, once I can get them to love me, I open up the door for everyone around me. Okay? You gotta have a platform that people will love as PR. So when you have that platform as PR, you automatically get followers. That's what PR is. It's knowing how to grab attention. It's knowing how to get followers. I wear red for a reason, okay? I wear red for a reason. It's all about these colors, okay? Red for me is power. Red for me is passion. Red for me is love. Red for me can mean a whole lot. But if one thing red don't do is it make a person stop and look. Okay, y'all looking? Y'all looking? Okay. Mission accomplished. So red for me makes you stop. Stop, hold on. Listen, I got something to say. And it's all about relationships. Okay. So how are you putting out your conversation, your communication? How are you building relationships for your nonprofit? Are you just speaking it? Because there's a lot of ways you got to put it out. You got to speak it, okay? You got to write it, okay? You got to make some videos of it. You got to love it again. You got to love this relationship. So how are you delivering the message of your conversation for your nonprofit? What is your why? Okay, why are you here? Why is everybody here today? Because they want some attention with their nonprofit, right? Okay, that's why I'm here today. Not only do I want attention for my nonprofit, because I do have one. It's all about having those different platforms. Yes, for profit and nonprofit. Your why for your nonprofit is your communication. So tell the story. Storytelling is so important in any relationship that you're in. I always like to tell the story. Why am I here? I am here because, like every one of you women, and I'm going to just talk to the women for a minute, we have something inside of us that say we want to be better than our past. We want to be better. We want to bring generational wealth. We want to bring that to the table. So I was a young mom. I was 16 when I had my daughter. I was told too many times, you cannot take off of work to go to your daughter's field trip. That was not happening with me, to the point where I had to get up and I had to walk away. So I tell that story to every group of entrepreneurs that I talk to, every nonprofit that I talk to, because that's going to resonate with them. Who wants to be told what they can and cannot do? I don't. So we have to talk about creating that relationship with your nonprofit, creating that relationship with yourself, where you're confident enough to deliver the message that you need to. Okay, strategic conversation is what I like to call PR. Okay, so with strategic conversation, what is it that you want a person to know about your nonprofit? What problem are you serving within your nonprofit? Because those are the messages that has to be delivered. The best way to deliver, yes, you can do it on your own. PR can be done in two ways, organic and paid, okay? Organic is awesome. But in order for an organic message to be delivered, you have to make sure you drop the right seeds to the right individuals. How are you going to get those right individuals? You're going to think about it just like a relationship. Just like Dr. O said, you got to have a relationship. Something has to be aligned. Your mission, your values has to be aligned with the person that you want to have a relationship with. Because if they don't care about feeding the homelessness, your organization does not matter to them. What is the best way to make sure the line stalk them? Get on their pages, see where they're going, see what schools they went to, see if their family, see what relationships they have in their lives. Because at the end of the day, relationships is what's going to push your organization, organic or paid. Okay, I want to say this: when we talk about paid PR, there's lots of PR firms out here. Don't just pick up the phone and hire a PR firm. There is only a certain amount of projects that I will work on because I have to have that passion with that project. I don't want to do a cause that I firmly don't believe in. Because when you have a relationship, it's like a campaign. Okay? You have to sleep it. You have to knock on some doors about it. You have to really believe in it. So when you're seeking for that partner, make sure that their purposes align with yours. It's kind of like looking for a job, When you go look for a job, you put out your resume, your objective is at the top of that resume. Okay, you need to edit that objective depending on who you're looking for a job with. It can't be the same thing for each person, So you have to determine, what do I want from them and how is my objective, how is my communication going to align with them? All of this is so very important when you choose who you want to work with, why you want to work with them, and if you even like them. I like to say as an entrepreneur, I only want to work with people I like. If I don't like you, if when I look at my phone and your name pop up and I'm like, ooh, oh, here she go again. I ain't gonna pay enough for her. I'm not gonna keep answering her calls because my passion is not gonna be in it for her purpose. And that's very unfair to her. So I don't like to think about PR for profit. I like to think about PR for passion. I like to have a conversation. I like to build a relationship, okay? And if we build that relationship, everything that we put out, every baby that we birth, gonna be beautiful. Every baby that we birth gonna be beautiful. If we are making an amazing relationship, relationships goes both ways. It cannot be one person that's giving everything to a relationship. That's not gonna work. Okay, how many people married? Okay, does it work, ladies? If you're doing all the cooking, all the cleaning, and you go in the room at night, and he's like, "Hey, man, what's up? What's up? What's up? Listen, it's like you wash all the dishes by myself. What's up?" So we have to nurture our relationships if we want to have great love. Okay, if you want to birth great babies in it, you got to nurture it, and it's going to go both ways. So when I talk about the relationship between PR and between your nonprofit, I don't want you to think about, oh my gosh, what do I need to pay for? I want you to think about, oh my gosh, when am I going to find time to chat with her to see if we can build a relationship first? Because if we can't build a relationship, it's nothing we can do together. Okay, strategic conversations lead to mutually beneficial what? Situations. Okay, so I'm gonna say it one more time. Strategic conversations, which means you've got to be talking to somebody. You got to build a relationship. Strategic conversations is what leads to mutually beneficial situations. We need to be benefited in our situations because we're not here just to give. Yes, we need to give. But if we are just giving, and nobody's pouring back into us, what's going to happen? We're going to be out. So in every way we give, you got to make sure that there's some people around you that can support and give back to you. The only way they can do that is they can see consistent information dropping out on you on a regular basis. Consistent. It's a drip campaign. You know what a drip campaign is? All right, we dripping every day. Yes. So I'm excited. I'm passionate about creating relationships. Relationships bring what? What does relationships bring? Okay, yes, it brings all that. It brings the money. What else does relationships bring? Trust, yes. Because we're not going to be in a relationship if we don't trust each other. So this is why it's important, before you go looking to work with anyone, build that relationship. Before you go asking for some money, build that relationship. Because you will go a whole lot further when you have a strong relationship. The relationships is critical in success. If I have not learned anything in 25 years of working for myself and needing to learn a lot of things on my own, is that one, I got to have a strong relationship with me, because that strong relationship with me will be able to now lay out the platform, lay out the plan that I will only accept for a person to come into my space. See, we got to protect our spaces. Okay? You got to protect your space. So if you're not good with you, you might be open to anybody coming into your space. And what are they coming for? So that's what good PR does. Good PR looks out for you. Good PR takes what you're doing every day and drips it where it needs to drip. Okay? Good PR will take a speaking engagement you did where you spoke for 10 minutes, and it will make a drip campaign that will go for 90 days. Okay? That drip campaign that will go for 90 days, like Dr. O say, hey, just $5. Just give us $5. Because if you drip your message over 90 days between content, between telling your story, okay, which I'm going to talk a little bit about telling your story, between content, between images, capture the images of what you're doing in your nonprofits. I see so many nonprofits do so much in the community and nobody knows. Nobody knows. What kind of relationship is that? When you're married and you have an anniversary, everybody knows. Okay, I look on Facebook and everybody, happy anniversary, happy birthday. Okay, but when you do something, you need people to know about it. And sometimes the person that's doing it don't always be the one that's telling everyone. Somebody else needs to toot your horn. Okay? Yeah, I like to toot horns. Y'all can tell? Somebody else needs to toot your horn. Okay? Somebody else needs to take what you've done and put it in the proper content. Content can do so much for your organization. If you don't have a good person that can write, that can edit, that can make sure what you're putting out tells the proper story in a manner that's going to make you say, hold on, let me listen. Because if a person comes to you and they're not put together, who wants to listen to them? Nobody. So if you're posting something about your organization and it's not put together right, you're going to lose listeners. What should a post include? It should always say something along the problem that your organization has fixed. Okay? Your message, every post should ask for something. It should have some kind of action behind it. If you're just posting a picture, that's an empty post to me. Post that picture, and today we solved the problem of homelessness in the ABC community. For us to keep doing this, we need your help. Give $5 a day. Okay? Give $5 a day every 20 days, right, Dr. O? So that is what PR does. PR takes one situation and turn it for you that will keep doors opening. If you all don't walk away with anything that I say today, I want you to walk away with knowing strategic conversations lead to mutually beneficial situations. Okay? Never forget that. But you cannot have a strategic conversation if you are not in a good relationship with your nonprofit. Because I know for me, every relationship I'm in, we need to have some conversations. And sometimes you just need to have some conversations with yourself. Sometimes you gotta look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, self, what do I need to do to tighten up today? Hey, self, who do I need to be in front of today? And how am I going to do that? So that is what PR does for you. PR is a relationship. It's someone that you communicate with on a regular basis. It's someone that's looking at your social media when you're not looking at it. Because I have friends in my network and they haven't hired me for PR because of my passion. If I see them post something, I will quickly rewrite it, send it to them, and be like, girl, please edit that. Because it's a great picture, but the content does not put action behind it. So you must have action behind your nonprofits in order for it to be successful. And at the end of the day, it's going to rely on great relationships. Do what you say you're going to do, and then let somebody toot the horn about it. Okay? Every nonprofit should have 5 media outlets that they give their information to every time something happens. We got a grant, let's shoot this out to our 5 media outlets. Okay? We're doing an event today, let's shoot this out to our 5 media outlets. I need you to look, do research, Google, LinkedIn, Instagram, and look at your mission and how it aligns with the media around you. And not just around you, but what other states do you want to get into? Don't let your media outlets just be your community, not just the community you serve, but the community as a whole. Because your services can be shared, can be networked, can be talked about in 5 other states away from you. what is that doing for your organization? You got to tell more people than on your street, okay? So that's what good PR does. It's really, at the end of the day, about identifying who you want to be on your team. You know, teamwork. And I know y'all hear this all the time, right? Everybody probably can fill it up for me, but teamwork.
Makes a dream.
Makes the dreams work. Yes, yes. And my team, they show out for me. Okay, my team, they show out, they stand up. We are built of knowledge. We are built of passion. We do what we want to do because we love you. Okay, the money comes. It always comes. If it's one thing my mother taught me, is that God takes care of his house. He takes care of his house. You don't have to worry. He got you. Just do what you're supposed to do. He has you. He will open those doors for you. He opened those doors for me. I started my magazine, Idea Success, 7 years ago. I thought it was time for me to go back to college. So I went down because I enrolled University of Phoenix, and one of my first professors that I was face to face with now is a part of my team. Okay, Miss Dorsey, y'all just wave at her. She in the back. She's the one that has all the nice glasses on throughout the conference. Miss Dorsey is the original master storyteller. Okay, English professor. I'm going to toot her horn for a minute. Okay, English professor. She is so passionate about making sure others reach their goals, from businesses to youth. She works with infinite scholars, making sure that the youth period has scholarship opportunities. She writes out of passion. I can never put a word count on Miss Laura. It's not going to happen. When we're laying out the publication, it's like, this is the topic, do your thing. So never get with an individual that wants to put a word count on you. No, it's no word count to your passion. Period. Yes, there's no word counts to your passion. If the words stop in the software or platform that you're using, the email that you're using, guess what? Create a video. Create a video and attach it. Because a lot of people say, well, it's only, you can get 200 characters through words, through the letters, through the alphabet, but your voice can get more. So a PR tip is, if you don't have a YouTube channel, get one. Okay? Get one. And have a relationship with your nonprofit every day. And sit and talk to your nonprofit every day like it is a full person, and then put a piece of that video out of your YouTube channel with the call to action. All we need is $5. Look, I'm gonna ride you all day with that, okay? Let's do 1,000. Okay, we like that better. So, my time, I don't know how much time I have.
Are you good?
I'm good, okay. So, my time, and I thought about, what to say. I even got the speech on my phone. But, my passion would just let me come up and look at each of you and just be real with you. Success is built on relationships. Success is having a team around you that cares about your mission. Success is making sure, one, you got in your team as a nonprofit a good writer. A good writer, okay? A person that has an eye for taking photographs, okay? Those two things is needed in every organization. If you don't have a good writer, you need to get a good writer. If you feel that you can write enough, then you need to get an editor, okay? Because everybody needs somebody to look over what they're going to put out before they put it out. The worst thing that can happen again is you hurt your chances of getting that big money from a corporation, from a millionaire, because you didn't misspell a simple word. They don't trust you now, because they know it's nobody on your team but you. That means ain't nobody looking over what you're putting out. And you lose trust, okay? If you go into an establishment, you go into a restaurant, and you see the chef running out to sit people, and then you see the chef run back into the kitchen, and then you see the chef come bring the food out. Then you see the chef come pick your plates back up. I don't think I like this place. He doing way too much. You know, something's bound to not be right. So when you try to do too much in your organization on your own, something is bound to not be right. Okay? You cannot do it all. Get yourself a good team. Know what's needed. What's the moving parts? What do you need? Okay? You need someone to take the pictures. If you can't afford to get a photographer every time, and that can be costly. Get you a good phone. Okay? Get you a good intern in photography. Get you someone, even if you have to get you a ring light and a clicker, and you put it in the back of the room, and you just click while you're doing what you're doing, make a way. Don't make an excuse. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Make a way. Don't make an excuse. Okay, that's needed. Consistent content, images is needed. Don't have something going on in your organization and you're not sharing it, because how else will you continue to get assistance? Some people say, I don't want to post too much. Huh? You don't want to post too much? Okay, but you want to serve the people in your community too much. We want to serve the people that we are passionate about too much, which means you need to put your message out too much. Do it too much, because guess what? Every day you might get a new viewer. The people that was on your page last month, you done got new friends now. They done got new friends now. You done went to networking events. You done talked to individuals. So the people that's on your page is not the people that was on your page 2 days ago. So post too much. Okay? Tell us too much what you are doing and what you need. Tell us the solutions that you provide. Tell us through video. Tell us through photographs. Tell us through content. Tell us too much. Okay? So my message is tell us too much. Okay? Make sure you have every stream of communication for your organization. Every stream of communication. LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, okay, TikTok. I haven't mastered that yet, though. I'm gonna find someone to help me out with TikTok. Okay. Twitter. There you go. There are so many platforms. And if you don't have a relationship with each of those platforms, you are not loving your organization. Okay? You are cutting your organization short. So create relationships within your organization so you can broaden outside of your organization. Okay? I need everybody to pull out your phones. And say your hands. So I have a gift that I want to give. I think social media is very, very important. So everyone that texts the word nonprofit to 25827, I have a social media map for you on how to post and what to post and what days you should post on. How you post is so important. You should always have a post about the problem. You should always have a post about your mission. You should always have a post of an ask. Okay, so my 30-day social media calendar that I'm going to give you is going to kind of give you that blueprint, the post where you're not feeling like you're doing too much. Because if you're posting the same thing all the time, you might feel you're doing too much. But if you change that message up, it will be just right to get the just amount of attention that you need. And your organization needs attention. So, 25827. 25827. You're going to get a message. You're going to see my website on nonprofit services that I offer. I have an amazing membership that's very affordable, starts at only $50 a month. Okay, you need that. You need that PR person. You need someone that every time you have an event, you can shoot that flyer to. Okay, you need that PR person that's connected in different states that can pick up the phone and say, hey, my girl down here in Texas is about to have an event. I need you all to go down there and show up for her. Okay, that's what good PR is. Good PR has great relationships. I may not need to be there physically all the time, but when you build great relationships, your relationships carry you wherever you go. So that's nonprofits to 25827. And then I also want you all to reach out to me. Follow me. Follow me on Instagram, okay? Follow me on Facebook. Anyone that reaches out to me and say, I was at the nonprofit conference, okay, you got to show me some proof though. So the people that are watching, don't reach out to me and say that you was at there. I'm going to say, if you were at the nonprofits, send me your badge. Send me your badge. And anybody that reaches out to me and send me their badge, I got a 30-minute passion conversation for you, one-on-one. We're going to talk, okay? And it's all about building relationships. And that's going to be my first way of extending my hand to all of you to create a relationship. All right. I feel good. Is it my time? It's my time. Yes. So, I hear we have some questions. Any questions in the room? I've seen a couple of hands go up. Okay, let's start right here.
One of the things that I just want to say thank you. One of the things when you are in conferences, the first thing that speakers and presenters that have products do is they want to serve everyone. So for you to say that you're discreet about not just taking every passion on and every purpose on means a lot to me while shopping and looking for a PR person. Because I don't want someone that's for everyone. I want someone that's discreet. So thank you for just being honest with, your standards and like, I'm not for everyone, which is totally fine.
It is.
So I think you could not just see in the group like, oh, I just see dollar sign. So I'm be your PR. And so you know what your capacity is and what you want to take on. So it's great to see that, your agency works with that kind of excellence. So just wanted to say.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes. You have any more questions?
Hi,
Hello.
my name is Devania Reed. I'm from Chicago.
Chicago in the house. Okay.
Question for you. I was told that you should not post the same thing on all your platforms, like on that day. How do you feel about that? That's one question. And I have another one. You talked about having strategic conversations. How do you go about starting those conversations? Do you have any recommendations?
Yes. So the first thing, let me answer that question. If you have all of those platforms, post the same thing on all of those platforms, okay? I use a platform called Hootsuite. I love it, okay? Write that down if you're not using Hootsuite, because Hootsuite will allow you to schedule your posts, HOOTSUITE, okay? It will allow you to schedule your post and it hit on all the same platforms at the same time. You can schedule out for 30 days, okay? That is very important, very important. So Hootsuite, you can use it for free up to so many platforms. I believe up to 2 platforms you can use it for free. But let me give you a little tip, okay? If you set your settings on Instagram to automatically post on Facebook, now you hit 2 platforms. Now you can add another platform to Hootsuite, and it's really hitting on 3 platforms for free. Okay, for free. So get on there. Again, relationships. You got to have a relationship with yourself to pour knowledge into yourself to do what you can on your own so you can save your budget, your finances for the individuals that you need to just push you along the way. Okay? And then your other question was, how do you have strategic conversations? knowing where your vision and your mission is and how it aligns and relates to theirs. Okay, I'm going to use just a short little example. We have Sharon here with Central Florida Diaper Bank. Okay, Sharon is in the room. Sharon has just received a huge funding to buy diapers. Who should Sharon be aligned with? Of course, Huggies. Okay, Huggies. They put diapers on babies' bottoms. So our organization needs to be aligned with people that care about our babies. So when you are strategic in your conversation, it's going to release a mutually beneficial situation because they already need what you are doing. They need to make sure their brand is out. They need to make sure that babies' bottoms are covered. So think about how you align and how they align, and that's the conversation.
You said Huggies specifically, I just want to again encourage, because I deal with special education kids and special education relatives, reach out to organic diaper companies too. Because if you really want to reach a wide population, there are parents who will not use Huggies because of their kids' reaction to them. You have to make sure that you can reach as broad of an audience as possible and not exclude people with disabilities.
Yes, and my response to that is you should always align yourself with 3 to 5 people in the same industry. And you should shoot your shot to all of them at the same time. Because what one person won't do, someone else will. And that way you can offer the diversity through your organization that's needed. Yes. Any more questions?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I have a question. Well, actually, I would like to know, you stated tell us more about going live.
Going live.
About going live on social media and talking about your nonprofit organization.
Okay. So I say go live and create a brand with your live. Invest a little bit into your live. Get you a good light, get you a good camera. I like StreamYard. Okay, StreamYard is really good. Again, another platform that can post on all your platforms at the same time. Okay, you can use StreamYard for free up to a certain amount of platforms, and then when you start expanding, they may charge you a couple of coins. Okay, it's okay. It is okay to spend a little money on your organization. It's your baby. It's your boo. Okay, show us some love. You have to be willing to invest, and that's one thing that I like to tell every nonprofit, every entrepreneur. If you're not investing in yourself, then how can you expect somebody else to? I know all of us ladies, we invested in ourselves to get here, because how many of us got hair done? How many of us got our nails done? How many of us got a new outfit? We invested in ourselves. So be willing to do that for your baby. Yes, any more questions?
I have just a comment to what you're saying, Jennifer, which is amazing. For people who are nervous of the little red dot when you go live, there's a platform that's called Live Stream that you can pre-record the video to. You can pre-record it on Zoom, use it through live stream, and it will play as live on the platform. So then you can just engage in the chat. And that's for those people who get nervous with a live camera in front of them until you become more comfortable. And that's what you get. It's like $39 a month, but you can pre-record your messages, your contact messages, your impact messages, and then play it onto the platforms. All the platforms, and it'll play live at the very same time on all of those platforms. And that will help you kind of get over that anxiousness and you become more comfortable.
And tell us that platform again.
It's called Live Stream, LIVESTREAM. And you can upload your video that you recorded, attach to all of your platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all of them. Schedule it if you need, and it will appear as a live stream in those platforms. And then you can just engage in the comments as people are coming on to watch it. I hope that helps.
Oh my goodness, the knowledge that I have been getting since I've been here has been amazing. Like we have really poured back into each other. That's awesome. Thank you.
You can also Google an OBS system that will allow you to do that exact same thing and stream everywhere. OBS system. Google OBS, because I don't have the time to explain it to you, but it'll be there.
Yes, thank you.
I'm always going to treat the janitor like I treat the president.
It's a very great presentation. Can you give us maybe like 2 or 3 things that we should be doing if we decide to go live? Because a lot of people don't understand that there's some etiquette in going
Yes.
live. And
Yes.
so, no dogs in the background, babies crying, but you be our expert. So can you just talk on that so we all look like excellence when we get on and the light shining on your
Number one, know what you're gonna talk about before you go live. Okay? Do your research. Do your research. Know what you are going to talk about. And then know how you want a person to feel. Because feelings is everything in relationships. Okay? So how do you want them to feel when they're watching you go live? That matters. Because if you want them to feel happy, then your lighting is going to be happy and cheerful. You might have a little introduction music playing to grab their attention before you start talking, okay? If you want them to feel emotional, you might want to be in a nice little calm. Your voice, your tone might be totally different. Voice and tone is everything in relationships. Because I can say, honey, could you please, come get this lizard out the room? Or I can say, it's a lizard out the room, come. What is he gonna hear? How's he gonna feel? Okay, so again, know what you want to say, know how you want a person to feel, and then create whatever your action is. Know what your action is. Say your action all throughout your message, okay? Say, I need you to go to my Facebook page. Say, tell people what you need them to do in your life. Because a lot of times I see empty lives like an empty post. You're not telling a person what to do. Tell them what you want to do. People need to be led sometimes. You gotta say, go to my page like this. You gotta say, donate now. You have to say, share this message. So if anything I say, make sure you know what you want to say, make sure you know what the person needs to feel, and then tell them what to do for you through your live. Encourage them to give you comments. Say no, put hashtag replay if you're not watching this live. Because any comments that continue to hit your live when you are live or when you are shut down, it still continues to go. So make sure you speak action throughout your live. Make sure that your lighting is good. And make sure you know what you want to say before you start opening your mouth. Yes.
Jennifer, can I add to that?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
think about this, right? Energize, educate, entertain, engage, and make an emotional connection.
Yes. I should have said it one more time so everybody in the room can hear. Say that one more time so people in the back can hear.
So engage, educate, energize, right? I gotta look down. Entertain, emotional connection. Because can I tell you something? There is absolutely nothing purchased in the world without an emotional connection. Everything you buy, emotion is attached to it. Think about you ladies when you go into the store and you find something cute on the rack. The salesperson will tell you what, let's go to the dressing room. Because they make it an emotion. When it's on your back, you don't want to buy it. When you go to the car dealer, why don't they get you on the test drive? So you can smell a new car smell. When you get back, they're gonna say, what? You ready to do paperwork? An emotional connection every time. Right? And the educate, right, just like Jennifer is telling you the educate part, you got to educate them, but that's also right, your call to action. Okay?
Yes, I love that. Thank you, sis. You just poured back in with some more content.
Also, with editing, make sure you do your research on your lighting. There's a 3-step approach to lighting, so be sure to get your lighting right. Because if it's dark, that's not going to be good that you have. One on the right, one on the left, one in front of you, and like your background, and not yourself. But you can Google it, and they'll give you tips for appropriate lighting and background suggestions.
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you, Amazon, let that be your best friend, because anything, anywhere else is gonna be cheaper on Amazon. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna remove that, I gotta go to the store. It's gonna show up at your door, okay? So stop making excuses. You can get it. Invest into yourself. Amazon has lighting. YouTube, you can Google anything and educate yourself. Invest in yourself, educate yourself, empower yourself. Build a relationship with yourself. With yourself. Yes. So, yes, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Shirley. I had a question about, being a virtual based nonprofit, because most of the work that we do is online, it's not, out and about, and you won't get a lot of pictures and stuff, when you have a lot, because we help people find work from home jobs that live in mental illness, so a lot of the stuff that we do is online based. So my question was, what's the best way to go about making that impact? Most of the work that you're doing is virtual, and you don't have those, like, you're actually feeding people and out in community like that.
So my advice is, who are you serving? Who are you helping?
We serve people that live with mental illness.
Okay. Does those individuals have caretakers?
They do not in most cases.
So they're taking care of themselves? Okay, so they can give you a testimonial.
Yeah.
They can tell you how you impacted them. They can tell you what you did to make them feel that they can take the next step. Content. Don't be afraid to ask for it.
Oh, I was going to say first that both StreamYard have nonprofit discounts for premium members. So
Yes.
if you decide that, and I'm looking at asking for discounts, which everybody knows if you see my post. But if you actually want the premium membership, you can get pretty heavy discounts on both StreamYard and Dorsey for those premium memberships. So make sure you always ask for all of the platforms that we use. Always ask if they have a nonprofit discount. It's not always on the website. StreamYard is on the people that they don't advertise it on their website. You have to actually go to the chat box and ask. So let's make sure, just mind you with all the platforms that we use and do all the things, even our accounting, all that stuff. Ask.
Yes. And I want to say something else to you. And I'm just going to ask my team to help me out on this. Kate is, listen, she's the beautiful person right here in the front that's recording and taking pictures, and she always has my back. But you may not go out and get pictures, but you can get stock pictures. And where do we get a lot of pictures from, Kate?
On Splash.
On Splash, okay? You can get content from someone. How did I impact you? Or you can just go straight to Splash. You can grab a picture that resonates with what you're doing and put call to actions with that picture. Okay, so even though you may not see them person to person, whatever you're doing, go to Splash, put that inside of the Google search, and you're gonna get some pictures that you can use that are high quality, very high quality, and you don't have to worry about being copyrighted. Splash, okay? That's where all your pictures are. And it's free. It's free. Yes. Unsplash. Yes, Unsplash. Unsplash. Yes, thank you.
So last question, and then we'll go to break.
Good morning. Thank you for all the information that you shared this morning. I really appreciate it. I've talked to a lot of nonprofits who help vulnerable populations like homeless population, things like that. What would be your advice how they can capture what it is they're doing without like exploiting the condition of those they help, especially like those who help homeless and other populations like that?
I would say the same thing. Use pictures from Unsplash. Put your message out. You can get an interview with a person from the back. You never have to put their face out. You know, if you are there, and again, it's about teamwork, okay? Having someone as you're interacting, take the right pictures and have an eye that won't show who you're serving, but show you're serving. The backs, yes.
So women, sir, we take pictures quite often of the homeless population, but what we do is we use our wonderful cameras of the blurring. And so we do the blurring, and we usually kind of like take it as an overview over, but not so much as direct onto the people. Now, we do have some who will come up and say, oh, let me take a picture. Because, you know, they build that relationship, and they'll do the interview and everything, but just to keep their dignity and everything, we just do it as a blur and overview.
Or I would say take images of what you're giving away. If you have care packages, if a person has donated a care package to you, bring highlights to them. If Walmart has given you something, say today Walmart did this for these individuals to show what you're doing, not more so the people. The action, the work is what I believe builds relationships with people that's watching on. Yes, ma'am.
Can I tell you too, to create a campaign? So we had over like keynote speaker. One of the things she said was something happened. So we don't like to show everybody's picture, but we created a campaign with no photo with the word something happened. And it said, meet Cheryl Jackson. She lost her job, blah, blah, blah. So people were creating, using the hashtag something happened, but every time they saw that something happened and had our logo in the corner, they knew that that was Minnie's. We're telling the story of something happened. So create a campaign that would do that, whatever you want to call it, and then people like, oh, every time they see that little slogan or hashtag, then they know, oh, wow, this is another story from your organization. Yes. And if people donate to you, like she was saying with the Walmarts, make them one of your sponsors. Put that on your logo, because people, when they come to your website, they want to know that you connected with large. And for your thing, Walmart is one of our sponsors. I'm telling you, they make themselves big. I was Depot when I first started. Everybody was my sponsor. I was like, who else I want? They gave me $10 or $25 gift card. We're proud partners with Walmart Association.
That is so right. And what you just said, hashtag, your organization should have six hashtags that you use all the time, okay? So hashtag your organization's name, hashtag the problem that you serve, okay? Hashtag the community you serve. Create your hashtags and be consistent. Good PR has consistency all the way across the board. So use your hashtags. Yes, ma'am. Yes. I like that.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you something. $25 gift card for them telling their story works all the time.
All the time.
Every person that told me, you know, when I said I got $25 gift card, oh yeah.
And then when they tell their story, I need you to be able to take that story and put it in different platforms. You know, work with the writer that you can give that story to and let them write something. Okay, use it as a video. Use it as a picture. You know, take a still picture of that. Again, any piece of content can be duplicated and spreaded on every platform that's out there. That is the relationship and the importance of PR.
If you want to reach out to a large broader category, there are sites that, particularly if you do things online, that will make your site handicap accessible for the blind population, for the deaf population, and most of them will do it free of charge. I don't have the websites with me, but if you go online and research disability accessibility for websites,
Thank you.
you'll find it.
Thank you. I think that's my time.
Yeah.
All right.
You should have dropped the Bible. All right, before we take a quick break, man, I want to say one thing, quick takeaway from what she said. And then tell one quick story, and then I got a giveaway. I bet y'all wait for the giveaway. All right, Rocco, let me get to it. We want to giveaway. So the call to action piece is very important, of course. But all this, everything you heard so far this morning, if you don't have no integrity, and can't nobody trust you, you ain't gonna get nothing. I don't care how nice you try to be, how clean you dress. If you ain't got no kind of integrity, no trust, you gotta forget about it. Come on now. Let me tell you something, man. Relationships. Let me tell you how a relationship helped fund that Star Wars event that I was telling you about when I was coming out of my pocket every single year. We've been doing this for 15 years. All the way up to year number 8, I'm spending my money out of my own pocket to fund this huge event. It is not cheap. You got a venue that's 6,000 people. You got to pay for all the expenses, marketing, promotion, everything that comes along with doing a grade A event. Teams that's traveling from all over the country to Dallas Fort Worth. I'm calling McDonald's. I'm calling Coca-Cola. I'm calling the U.S. I'm calling all these people. Look what we're doing. Look at the videos. Look at the testimonies. Look, see, look, this is great. We're changing lives. Oh, Rock, that's awesome. That's great. But nobody cutting checks. I'm like, here's our sponsorship deck. Here's our promotion. I'm giving them everything that they're asking for. Nobody's cutting checks. And I'm like, what are we missing? What are we doing wrong? How come nobody is helping support this beautiful cause that we've started? And I started getting a little bit more wiser. I started asking questions to people that are a little bit more smarter than me about this is what they do. And I said, okay, if you can't give money, come see me. This is that no excuses get it done mindset. Okay, you told me no 8 years. Now come see it. Give me 1 year that you can come see this bad boy. Come see it next year. I'll pay for your flight. I'll pay for your hotel. I'll pay for your food. I'll pay for your wife. The time you're here, you don't have to give me a dime. Come see it. They started coming to see it. They started coming to see it for one or two reasons. One, they probably tired of me begging them every year. And they finally like, okay, Rock, I'm coming. Okay, all right. But when they saw it, guess what happened the year after that? They cut a check. Listen, my dream and my vision may not be the same as somebody else's. Which goes back to what she was saying. Like, if what we're doing with stepping in Star Wars doesn't fit McDonald's mission or Coca-Cola's mission, then we got to figure out another way to remix this bad boy. Because we know they got the money. So just come see me and let them figure out how they can fit it into their equation. And that's what started happening. So now we started getting sponsors that were like, hey, count us in for next year. Count us in for the next 3 years. Right, this is amazing. I didn't know. Does that make sense? The last thing, y'all gotta be mountain climbers. Y'all gotta be mountain climbers. I'll tell you something, man. A mountain climber does not want the helicopter to come down to the bottom and fly straight to the top. A mountain climber loves the journey of climbing mountains. Getting cut up, ripped up by all the trees and branches going up through the mountains. Big heavy backpack. The back is hurting. Blisters on their feet from all the walking. Possibly running out of water. Possibly running out of food. They love that journey though. Y'all gotta be mountain climbers. It ain't just gonna happen overnight all the time. Embrace the journey, embrace the grind. Embrace the struggle, because when you embrace the struggle, it won't feel like a struggle. Just embrace it. All right? Don't expect someone to say yes every single time. Quickly. Don't let the no's turn you away. I went to apply for my first radio job, and they told me no 5 times. 5 times I kept coming back every 2 weeks. I became a joke to them. All right, they gonna rock again. But the 6th time, I said, I'll work free. You ain't got to pay me nothing. They was laughing. They think I was serious. But they said yes. I came to that building. I was working 40 hours a week every single week. not getting paid a dime. I was in the promotion department, engineering department, programming department, going out the street team. I was in the mail room. I was going to get lunch for everybody, coffee for everybody. I was doing everything in that building. I was out working everyone that's been in that company for 10, 15 years. Not getting paid a dime. The first year in radio, I didn't get paid nothing. And when the position became available, guess what they had to hire? They had to hire me. So now everybody's saying, well, how was you able to pay your bills over this year? Well, before I started playing, before my radio career, I had an opportunity to play professional baseball. So I played professional baseball with the New York Mets. So I just saved my money from playing baseball. So I started a baseball academy for kids on the weekends from the money that I have to play baseball. So that's how I was able to keep my bills paid and my responsibilities paid financially. As I was working free for this radio company for an entire year. Got my foot in the door. 15 years later, actually 20 years later, you guys know the rest of the story. But I had to embrace that struggle. And I almost quit. But I had to surround myself around mentors. People that was cheerleaders for me. And when I was ready to quit, I said, man, I've been working for this company. I remember, man, and I don't hold too long. I've been working for this company for 6 months, and they still ain't hired me. I know I told them I work free, but come on, man. It's been 6 months. They gotta hire me, man. I gotta go do something else in my life. And they said, right, hold on. You like watching football, right? You play football? I said, yeah, I love football. I love football. You watch the NFL? Yeah, I love Dallas Cowboys fan the whole nine. Okay, they got this thing called the preseason. I said, okay, what's your point? He said, what's the purpose of the preseason? Why they play 3 or 4 preseason games? I said, to practice, to find out who's going to make the real team, so they can be ready to work on all the kinks, work on all the wrinkles. So when the regular season starts, they're ready to play ball. He's like, wow, this is your preseason. This is your preseason. Get your butt, quit tripping, get your butt, you got your foot in the door. Don't own it. You working for the #1 radio company, not only in Dallas-Fort Worth, but one of the top radio stations in the world. You in there. This is your preseason, because when they finally give you the ball to say, let's go, it's game time, you're going to be ready for it. So, embrace the journey, y'all. Take all this information that you guys are getting at this conference. And when you go out there to get ready to play ball, be okay with the no's. Be okay with the naysayers. Be okay with the haters. Because everybody ain't going to be a cheerleader. Everybody ain't your friend. And they're going to try to break you down because you're getting what they want. Does that make sense? All right, so we're about to get ready to take this break, and I'm going to get some of this giveaway real fast. But I also got to shout out real fast. Dr. Rowe, thank you for allowing me to come out and be a part of this. You're an amazing person. You keep doing what you're doing. Your vision that you have, this whole thing is amazing, and you put together, you got a phenomenal team. Everybody in here, Jennifer was saying, you got to learn how to delegate. If you can't afford, if you think, let me say that way, you think you can't afford it, it's all in your head. That's a whole nother, I could be up here a whole nother 30 minutes talking about how to save money when you think you don't have money to save. It's in my book, no excuse to get it done. You got to get that. But listen, delegate. There's enough people in this room, so I can't afford a photographer. Somebody in this room, where my man go? Where'd Jeremiah go? Jeremiah, hey, the man that's been taking pictures off, go to him. Let me get your contact information. I got an event coming up. I can't pay you maybe what you're worth, but maybe there's a way I can post and share your brand on my social media that could get you another paid gig. Delegate, do it to each other in a good way. Okay, this is what I do. What do you do? Oh, okay, let's exchange information so I may need you one day. If you need me, call me. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's called working together. Okay, if you broke and you ain't got no money, because everybody been saying you got to pay this extra $20 a month, $30 a month, $50 a month, $60 a month. If you ain't on LinkedIn right now paying your $69 premium, something wrong with you. Right. It's worth it. Don't just, the free version of LinkedIn is great, but paying that premium is better. Because now you get into the $1 billion, the billionaires and the millionaires. You get into their message. You can send them a message. They may not respond, but they may. When people say, "Why are you doing all that, Rob?" Why not? Don't ask me why. I'm gonna say why not. You gotta always have a positive. You gotta always respond. No excuses. Get it done. Find a positive solution about everything that you do, and I promise you, you're gonna win. All it takes is you only have to win one time. You only have to be right once. Ask Sherry. You have to be right once. If it's with the right person, it's done. So the difference between saving money that you think that you don't have. So let's say you're trying to save $3,000 that you don't have. Stop buying all them purses and shoes. Okay, I'm related to me. I love George and Jay. Listen, that was the point of my life. Listen, but let me tell you how. Let me help you. Let me help you. Here's how you do it. Okay, check this out. You're gonna spend $100. Let's just say $100. We'll keep easy math today. You're gonna spend $100 for this purse, right? After you spend $100 for that purse, what you gonna do? How's that purse gonna look? Let me finish. You're gonna walk off with this purse. Ain't nobody saying, "Oh, give me that purse. Put another 100 in there for you." Remember, you can still spend that $100. Open up a savings account that you can't touch. Go put that same $100 in that savings account. You was gonna spend it anyway. You was just gonna put it on the purse. Now you invested in yourself. Put it in that savings account. Imagine all the wants that we spend that we don't need. So you gotta have discipline though. Listen, you're gonna spend the money anyways, but instead of just stop yourself for that second and say, "Okay, I'm gonna spend this $50 on this. I don't need this. Let me go put it in this bank account." I did this. It worked. That's I looked up at this bank account because the bank said I can't touch this for 6 months. Because I went in there and said this account, don't let me touch it. I don't care if it's life or death, don't let me touch this money. $3,000 I raised doing that in less than 6 months. So imagine if I just kept doing that. That person will still be there. Matter of fact, there's gonna be a better version of it. You ain't missing nothing. Because soon, if you do it right, you're gonna be able to buy the doggone company that made the purse. All right? So let me get going to this thing. I got a $50 gift card right here. I'm gonna give somebody a $50 gift card, and at this point, make sure that you guys support Dr. Rowe's new book, Black to Nonprofits. You're gonna be able to get it exclusively at the next break for $15 during this next break. Get her book, please. Okay? Get her book. I got a $50 gift card for whoever can tell me name 5 members of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. Don't burn it out. I need y'all to raise hands. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! Juicy ain't on the show no more. Oh, yeah. Why you don't do this when you say Gary? There it is, man. Thank you guys very much. I got a break after this. I have to go do something with my son, give him the baseball bats and everything. But it was an honor to spend time with you guys this morning. If you need to contact me, rocktheholla.com. That's my website. That's all my social media platforms. Easy. ROCKTHOLLA. All social media, LinkedIn. That's the website. Whatever I can do to be of service to you guys, let me know. Rockty, ROCKT as in Tom, HOLLA. Rock T Holla.
It's my newest book. It's on my table.
Yes. Yes.
It's at my table.
The new book is over at my table, the vendor table over there. I will. Somebody already said that table for me. I will.
There it is. There it is. Yes, there it is right there. Boom! Let's get it. All right, so y'all, let's take a break. Relax, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Thank you very much.